We're back at it again with another Battlefront update. The first Monday of December started with a bang, as DICE earlier today released a brand new community transmission for the next update, featuring all new reinforcement skins, UI changes, a ton of hero tweaks, co-op and instant action improvements, and a bunch of other stuff too. In addition to this, we've also got a leak of a brand new addition to the game coming soon this month as well. That's actually breaking news and not part of the community transmission, so we're gonna be talking about that here but a little later into the video. As always, we'll be covering all of this and more in today's video. And before we get into any of that, but a quick reminder, as if you do like these type of videos, then do remember to give it a like to show your support for not only this update series, but also the content within it. With that out of the way, let's get into it. Before we dive into this community transmission itself, it should be noted that this update will be releasing on Thursday, December 5th, which will be the first and smaller update of the month. In addition to this update, which will be largely focused on the Clone Wars, the major December update based on the Rise of Skywalker will be coming out later in the month, and according to Ben, while he didn't give us any release date specifics on that, he did tweet out that we should be getting it before Christmas Day. So if anything, I wouldn't be surprised to see that update drop on the 23rd or 24th. But yeah, anyways, back to the news on the first December update, as we've got a lot to cover here. Now, reinforcement skins have been a real hot topic in the community lately, and there's been a lot of questions and speculations on what kind we'd be getting. From what we've heard from Ben Walk before, we knew that we'd be getting at least more than 3 skins. Which, to be honest, at the time already sounded like a lot, considering this is DICE after all. Fortunately, today we've learned the exact number of skins, and to everyone's surprise, it far exceeded our expectations. As instead of 4 skins, we'll be getting a whopping total of 10. The breakdown is as follows: 3 skins for the ARC Troopers, 4 skins for the BX Commandos, 2 for the Clone Commandos, and 1 for the Droideka. For the new ARC Trooper appearances, we'll be getting a black and green Lambent Seeker, the blue and the gray Cobalt Hero, and the fearsome looking black and yellow Umbra Operative. All of them look absolutely amazing, and personally, I'd even go as far as to say the ARCs get the best looking skins out of the bunch too. The Cobalt Hero here especially reminds me quite a bit of Rex, which I wouldn't be surprised to hear that this design was actually probably inspired off of him. Next, we have 4 quality skins coming for the BX Commando, being the Captain, which were deployed as part of any substantial droid operation, the Citadel appearance, which is based off the BX Commandos who oversaw the prison on Lola Sayu. Occasionally, BX Commando droids would also serve as bodyguards to the Separatist dignitaries, which is where the inspiration for the Diplomat appearance comes from. The 4th BX appearance comes in the form of training, where that look stems from the cloning facilities on Kamino. New appearances for the Clone Commandos have also been frequently requested since their arrival, and it's great to see DICE finally bringing in 2 new appearances for them to the game. This being the Urban Fighter appearance, which contains a green and orange pattern, whereas Clone Commandos wearing the Jungle Striker appearance take covert operations to the next level. Lastly, we'll also be getting 1 new skin for the Droideka too, who will be receiving a fresh new look based off of the training droids on Kamino. Unfortunately, DICE didn't release an image showcasing the skin like with the others, so we've got really nothing to show here. But all of the appearances will be classified as rare and will be available for 20,000 credits or 500 crystals. The only exception being the Captain appearance for the BX Commando droid, which will be common and available for 5,000 credits or 150 crystals. Next, as expected, we'll be getting some much needed UI changes in the next update too. First, DICE have reduced the size of the damage reduction icon, and are also scaling it automatically in size and opacity based on the distance to your target. This means you can engage targets at long range without having the damage reduction icon cover an area that is bigger than your target. As a result, this should hopefully alleviate most of the concerns regarding this messaging, but DICE have also included the option to turn off this UI element off altogether if that's what you want. If you choose to do that, then you're still gonna be able to listen for the unique hit confirmation audio to determine that you are dealing damage to a target that has incoming damage reduction. In addition to this, you're also going to be able to mess around with the kill message and the player bar interfaces as well. Another small but appreciated change coming with the update is the naming of the command posts. According to DICE, this is to help give players context to the areas on the battlefront. So now all the command posts in Capital Supremacy and in Instant Action will be given names that will be shown during the contextual spawn screen and when during the HUD icon is in focus. Again, not a big change to things, but it certainly won't hurt having it. Moving on, there will also be a plethora of hero changes coming in this update as well, some which are expected, while also some surprises sprinkled in there too. Seeing as there is so much here, I'm gonna try to go through each one as fast as possible, just so we can get through them all in a reasonable amount of time. Starting out, DICE have fixed the issue of Darth Maul where the deflected blaster bolts from the spin attack ability would not damage enemies. Added ability crosshair for Kylo Ren's frenzy ability, reduced the active ability time and increased the fire rate for Boba Fett's rocket barrage ability, and based on community feedback, DICE have added a 25% damage reduction for Vader during choke. His choke is now able to be performed only when targeting an enemy. Players can now see the number of enemies targeted by the ability. General Grievous's stamina reduction of the Sith trained star card has been changed from 40 to 25%. Luke's star card values for his Intensify have changed from 20, 30, 40, 50 to 18, 24, 30, and 36. Palpatine, surprise surprise, will be seeing some big changes too. First, the glitch that would allow Palpatine to maintain the effect of a basic attack while using any of his abilities has been fixed, and his Dark Aura ability will no longer cause blinded animation of enemies to be on a continuous loop. Bossk will no longer get fall damage when jumping off the ground. Captain Phasma will no longer be able to detonate the First Order Sentry Droid while picking it up without a cooldown requirement. The gap between her second and third strike has also been increased, allowing Phasma's Staff Strike combo to be completed easier, and as well fixed an issue where Captain Phasma's rifle zoom would occasionally not highlight enemies. Han Solo can dodge now while the Sharpshooter ability is active, and fixed an issue where Han Solo would occasionally throw more than one grenade. Obi-Wan Kenobi's all-out push ability will now affect enemies even if the player is attacked while activating it. Lando can now dodge while the Sharpshoot ability is active. Using Iden Versio's Pulse Cannon while crouching will no longer increase rifle recoil, and her weapon will no longer overheat during Super Success cooling when the Cooled Blaster Star card is equipped. Finally, Count Dooku's Expo's Weakness ability will now remove any active extra health on the target, which in turn should now see him become a real great counter to Yoda, at least in Hero Showdown. Next, we will also be getting some much needed updates to both co-op and instant action. With co-op, DICE have implemented improved hero spawn points for the defend scenarios, and fixed an issue that would cause occasional frame rate drops when enemy AI was spawning in co-op. They as well made additional milestones visible under the Challenges tab during the end of round screen on co-op, and adjusted one of the command post capturable areas so it doesn't overlap with the out-of-bound areas on the minimap. While for instant action, DICE have made some significant improvements to the bot behavior, allowing them now to play the objective more and spawn on command posts. Several other issues have also been fixed too, like the difficulty setting on instant action not correctly applying to the game, the selected number of bots on PC not showing up in game, the game potentially freezing if the player pressed quit game right after pressing play again during the end of round screen on instant action, and where the phase of the clone armor and the spawn screen and in the in-game would be inconsistent. Now, unfortunately, there is still no fix for being unable to pause in an instant action game, but improved AI is going to be a major improvement to the mode being playable again. Also, no, there is still no updates for vehicles and reinforcement AI coming to instant action. Or at the very least, it's not being included in this update here, but it's presumed DICE is still hard at work on getting it right before releasing it into the game. When we get any news there, then for sure I'm gonna include it in the video, so don't worry about that. All in all, this update looks to be a great addition to the game, especially if all those reinforcement appearances we're gonna be getting. Although I think we were told that we'd be getting a reason on why this update was delayed from November to the first week of December. Yet now it doesn't look like we're gonna be getting that reason from DICE. Not to say that it's most likely EA simply wanted all the attention to be on Jedi Fallen Order, but DICE did state that they had a good reason for the delay and would apparently surprise us and tell us about that later on. Which I'm guessing now that they're probably not gonna tell us, as most people have forgotten about that excuse, but yeah, I just wanted to point that out. Now, while not included in this update, we did get word that the promised era selector is still being worked on and may most likely be included in the next update. Considering all the new sequel trilogy content that we're expected to be getting there, it does make sense on why DICE would wait until then to release this. But yeah, I know people are gonna be asking about this, so here's your answer for that. Next, in addition to this upcoming update, we were also given the community calendar for December as well. And while there isn't anything noteworthy to mention here for veteran players, it definitely should be great news for all newcomers to the game, as a ton of previous timed exclusive events will now be returning all throughout December. So if you're new or just never had the time to get some of the things from the previous events, then you'll be able to get a second opportunity to do so this month. Now moving on for the Rise of Skywalker DLC that we're gonna be getting later in December, there's still plenty of speculation of what exactly the new planet will be that we're gonna be getting in that expansion. And in case anyone is wondering about that planet potentially being Pasaana, the new desert planet, then I've got news for you. Because according to an exchange of Ben and someone from the community on whether the next planet would be desert-based or not, it seems we can now put any worries we had to rest of that planet being Pasaana, which again is the new desert planet in the Rise of Skywalker. And hey, if Ben is saying what I think he's saying here, then this is good news. Because I don't know about you, but I really do think that we've got enough desert planets in the game already. Also, some very big news aside the CT today, but it looks like DICE will be releasing a brand new version of the game called Celebration Edition. Details on this new version were leaked out later today, which not only sees DICE selling Battlefront 2 with all the DLC already installed on the base game, but as well gives us hard confirmation that Sith Troopers are coming as reinforcements thanks to this new edition's cover art. Once again, we were already teased from Ben before about Sith Troopers coming to the game, and I made a video about that. But naturally, some people were still not convinced, so yeah. But now with this beautiful and leaked official new cover art fully displaying a Sith Trooper right on the front of it, then I think it's safe to say the cat's out of the bag on this one. And yeah, like I said in a previous video, we already know as well that Sith Troopers aren't in Ben's new prophecy. So again, whatever that will turn out to be, then it's gonna be something truly incredible. Now, the leaked information for the Battlefront 2 Celebration Edition came directly from the PlayStation 4 blog and then was suddenly deleted. So this is most likely to be legit. I think they just posted it way too early than they should had and they realized their mistake afterwards, but yeah. The leaked description tells us that the Rise of Skywalker update will give us 6 new legendary appearances, plus 1 each for Rey, Finn, and Kylo Ren. So it doesn't look like we're gonna be getting any new heroes, but more so new hero skins for those 3 heroes that are already in the game. And along with that, it should also be pointed out that the New Hope Stormtrooper stylized helmet, together with the first Death Star, do show up in the new cover art, which should now also help further confirm that OT content is without a doubt coming starting 2020. Now, if DICE were to port over the Death Star map from the previous Battlefront to Battlefront 2 for this, then that would be truly something. I know me and many others would absolutely love to see that. So fingers crossed now that does happen. Oh, and one final note from Ben that I wanted to point out, but he's now pretty much started teasing straight out that other eras will be coming to instant action. Now, we knew this was eventually going to happen, so it's nice to see DICE being more open about telling us this, at least in an indirect way. I've seen a ton of people asking about this, and again, it only seems natural that if we're gonna be getting Capital Supremacy in other eras, then without a doubt it's gonna be carried over to instant action as well. Now, no word yet if this will be applied to co-op too, but I like to think that is pretty much locked in at this point, as co-op is a big mode DICE is trying to push lately. So it wouldn't make any sense if DICE puts other eras in Capital Supremacy and instant action, but not in co-op. Basically, look at it this way, by 2020, expect all eras to be playable on every mode in the game. Until then, that will do it for this Battlefront update. And as always, if you enjoyed this video, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel to not only support it, but keep up with Star Wars news, gaming, and canon lore released every week. And consider following me on Twitter and Facebook to never miss out on the latest Star Wars content. Thanks for watching, and may the Force be with you.